Okay, so you know how last time you were talking about things that you say that will show that you're like a little bit older than I am?
Yes. Oh, God.
I wanted to just throw something at you.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Okay. I have never sent something in the mail.
I literally just went to the post office Thursday and sent like
I've been to the post office like once in my life.
Okay, so would I guess so many
I wouldn't
questions.
even know how to do that.
Like, have you written an address and like a return address on anything before?
I have, but I didn't
Do
send
you
it
have
out.
stamps?
No.
Is this normal? Like, am I
I got married.
Right. Who did the invitations? Or did you use one of those sites that did it for you?
I'm a little embarrassed about this, but everyone that I knew here, I handed them to them.
Okay, I do remember that, but that's not embarrassing.
And then my mom sent out the rest.
Wow.
But that's the only thing I've ever really had to send out.
Okay, so we have a poll for our viewers. Like, how many of you have been into a post office more than one time? And how many of you have only been one time or less? That's what I want. That's what I want to know. I go often.
Like if I buy something and I have to return it in the mail, it's not.
What?
Like, I thank God for Amazon that I can bring something to like JCPenney.
Okay, I do the Kohl's thing with Amazon because it's the same thing.
I still don't do that though.
I say
I will, but it sounds a lot easier, but I just don't.
Girl, Kohl's sees me walking in. They're like, oh man, this bitch has got 11 things. Like, you know what's great is I never stepped foot into a Kohl's until Amazon did that, truly, or I hadn't stepped into a Kohl's in like a decade. So it's genius that Kohl's did that, and Kohl's has Sephora, which is a plug for Kohl's and Sephora for this. So now I have more reasons to go there. But no, I legitimately am the best at returning things.
Well, maybe I'll just have you.
You could just have me do it because like I literally am like, and then what's kind of nice is it feels like free money because you just put it back on your card or your Amazon like account.
Yeah,
and then it's like you never spent the money at all, but you have.
Yeah.
You actually definitely have.
I've never pulled money out of an ATM.
I remember you saying that. We should do a video where I do that with you.
Yeah, we should just do a video of you doing things with me that I've never done.
The millennial takes the Gen Z to the post office.
Yeah.
The millennial takes the Gen Z. And then there should be the opposite. What do you do that I don't do?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe just teach me how to use TikTok. I don't do this. Yeah, like I have TikTok. I've never literally used it.
When you couldn't figure out how to find your password on
literally
TikTok.
Anything.
Although that was actually not your fault.
I still am confused.
Yeah.
Well, that's oh God. That leads us into hair. No, I'm just kidding.
What have you never done in hair?
Great question.
Like you've never.
I come from a different time.
Since I've known you, you've never had a bad consultation.
Thank you. That's a great point because it took me a minute to get to feeling confident in consultations. I think establishing what you're good at is key before you begin a consultation, right? Like knowing what services you offer and what you don't.
Like your scope of practice?
Yes. Like I have a repertoire.
Yeah.
You know, like I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not good at. And I know what I like to do and what I don't like to do. And
it's like a doctor.
It's just like a doctor. I'm not going to do a back surgery if I'm a heart surgeon.
Exactly. Scope of practice. It's okay to know what that is.
It's important and clients appreciate that. So my consultations, I very early on realized through actually going to tattoo artists how important that is.
Yeah.
Because I'll never forget, I booked a session with somebody and I showed them my inspo and they're like, that's not in my scope of practice. That's not what I like to do, but let me refer you. Exactly. Let me refer you to somebody else. And that taught me as a hairdresser to know when it's out of your scope of work. Like, can I do it? Sure. Should I? No.
Also, you know what's even harder than knowing what you can do and can't do? Telling someone what you can and can't do.
I think that can be hard for people for sure.
Because it can feel weird. Like they sit down and they're like, here's my cheetah print hair inspo. You've never done that in your life. They're about to pay you $500 to do it.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, hold on.
Yep.
I can't do that.
Yep.
They've been waiting 3 months for this appointment.
Yep.
No one else can do it here at this time.
Yes.
And you're going to have to send them out the door.
I think what's so important and one thing that adds value to you and I is working with people that have practice or skill that you don't have, and vice versa.
Yeah.
We have skills that they don't have.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a tit for tat in a good way. It's like if somebody sits in my chair and they show me an inspiration that I either think won't look good on them or I cannot do, there's a polite way to explain that to them, and in a way of, hey, I really care about you. First off, I care about my integrity above anything else in my work, no matter what that work is. And integrity means being able to tell you, like, I don't think I'm the best person for this technique. But you know who is? I have 3 different people that I work with, or if you don't work with them, like I have 3 different stylists that I'd be happy to call right now while you're sitting in my chair, and we can arrange when you could get to them. And then you become the concierge. And I think that establishes this confidence and relationship with that client where they may not come to you for that service, but they'll come back to you for another service, or they'll refer like, hey, I didn't go to this person, but I know she's bomb at X, Y, and Z. You should go to her because she's got.
Or you know what? In that same case, maybe they want cheetah all over their hair and you're great at bleach and tones.
Right.
Go ahead, do that bleach and tone. Be like, you're going to be really pretty blonde today. And then I'm going to send you to this person. They're going to put cheetah print on your hair.
Yeah, to get that cheetah print or rainbow or whatever you want. I definitely think like, as a stylist, before you get into the world of consultation, really understand what you're good at. And if you don't, you got to figure that out.
Yeah.
And if you want to be good at something, get good at it.
That's the thing. If you want to say yes to most things, be good at most things.
You have to be good at most things. Yeah. And if you don't want to be good at most things, be good at the one thing that you want to specialize in. You got to got to have a good value in that.
I think the biggest thing with consultations are things that are hard to say.
No.
Saying no. Saying that the price is going to be different than you originally thought.
Correct.
Or is listed on your website.
Correct.
Whenever something comes up that's unexpected, speaking about that. Maybe like a box tie situation, or maybe they weren't completely honest. Or there's henna
on the ends or something.
Yeah. Hair fries off.
Yeah.
Got to tell them.
Yeah.
But back to the beginning of the consultation, setting expectations is really hard for people.
It is hard for people. And for me,
it's really hard.
I try to step back into early baby Carly hairdresser and remember that it can be hard. But I think one thing that gave me a lot of confidence was bartending and having to just be dominant. And I think when you own the consultation, you're going to own that appointment.
You know what gave me confidence? Callbacks.
Oh, like not having a redo?
People needing a redo.
Well, that'll give you the confidence.
And you know what it was?
Because most of the redos were probably just a conversation that didn't happen.
I think that's most people. It was never a redo because their hair was fucked up.
Yep.
It was a redo because I was not explicitly truthful with them from the start.
In the consultation.
And maybe it was whenever I was a baby stylist, it's because in my mind, I knew, but I didn't explain it to them.
Yes.
Because I thought that they understood.
Yes.
So that was most of what it was. Second also was being afraid to disappoint people. So I was like, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to get them to where they want to be. But say they had box tie and I literally couldn't.
Yep. You had to tell them it's impossible.
That wasn't on me, but it was on me for not telling them.
Yep.
And now I would explicitly say that. I would say, which I wouldn't before, is I am going to do everything I possibly humanly can to get you what you want.
Correct.
But it might not be possible. And here's the thing. It may never be possible.
Yep.
And your hair is going to tell me if it is possible.
Yep.
But being able to like gain control of that situation.
Yes.
In a way that like feels nice for everyone involved.
Yes.
Because people will get defensive. Here's the thing. They don't mean to, but like I hear this in almost every single box dye or dark permanent dye consultation. But my hair is like historically always lifted really well. I'm sure
so true.
It historically
just
has.
Just because it lifts well doesn't mean that it's going to be there 6 weeks from now. Just because I can do it today doesn't mean that hair is still going to be there 6 weeks from now.
And here's the thing. Subconsciously, they're putting pressure on you. That's pressure. That's historically people have been able to do this for me. So you should also be able to do this for me. So then what I do is I take control even more. I'm like, I understand that in the past your hair has been able to lift.
Correct.
It probably will be able to lift today. It depends on if it's going to stay on your head or not.
Yep. That's
so
exactly
they push back, I push back. They push back, I push back, but not in a confrontational way.
Just in like, you're correct. That did happen. I'm not gaslighting you. But what I'm saying is because I have good ethics, I will not do something that's going to compromise your hair, because just because it looks good today doesn't mean it's going to look good a month or two from now. So I think it all boils down to when I used to manage the salons and I would get a redo form and I'd have to talk to a stylist about it. I always could pinpoint it to the consultation.
Exactly. So
how do we learn a consultation? Here we go. So new client, right? They sit down in the chair. What you're going to first ask is, how did you find me?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most important questions. You can ask it however way you want to, but you want to learn why they're there. Mm-hmm. Because for me, it's not even about, who referred you? It's about, why are they here? And they're going to tell me that. They're going to tell you, I saw your work on Instagram and I loved it. And then I know, okay, this girl's probably leaning into my specialty. Yes. Or it's the why. Like I've heard in my case, you're really good at gray coverage. You're really good at these cuts, whatever it is, they're gonna tell you only because that one question of, how did you find me? And then I learn about who they are.
Each thing is a little like crumb that you're gonna put together to make the whole piece. Because I love what you just said, because maybe they say, I found you from your Instagram. You're like a little bit of like, okay, I can relax. Yes. They're gonna want what I do.
Yes.
Maybe they say, my friend Kelsey, who is a level 8 natural, is white blonde.
And I'm a level 2.
I want her white blonde.
Yeah.
You're in for a little bit of something.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It tells you how this consultation is going to go.
You can start knowing, where do I need to go from here? Right there, that would tell me, okay, we're going to set some expectations.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's just little crumbs.
It's these questions that guide us, and it helps relax me because I know how to handle this.
Yeah.
And so say that's the scenario. Like, let's pretend this is this. We're going to give you guys a couple scenarios. How about that? We'll do a couple different ones. Mm-hmm. So this scenario is Kelsey, who is like, should not even be allowed to step out in public because her hair is unattainable.
Yes.
Because she's a level 8 and she lifts to Gwen Stefani blonde every time.
Yeah.
Her bestie, who's a level 2, so like black hair color, wants that result. So they come in, they're like, my friend Kelsey referred you. You can already establish, okay, well, let's talk about the history of your hair. Can you tell me a little bit about your hair?
Yeah.
Because I might be seeing a level 2, but what if she's had glosses or toners or whatever it is? And while she's talking, I'm already evaluating X, Y, and Z. Yep. Like, how am I going to approach this? How can I get this to kind of have a compromise?
You're thinking, how much time do I have in this service? How much hair do they have?
Totally. I'm thinking of all these things while they're talking about the history of the hair. To be honest, I don't really need to know half of it, because what I'm thinking of, okay, I've got 2 hours. I have, this amount of time. I already know about this. My goal is always, okay, how often are you wanting to come see me? Like in that situation, I'm like, because Kelsey, just so you know, even though she's light naturally, she has to come to me every 8 weeks. Is that something you want to do? Because I'm not going to try to like push low maintenance on you. However, I can get you this brighter blonde result and give you a better grow out.
And Kelsey's does grow out kind of nice. Yes. Even though she's high maintenance, she likes it done.
Yes.
It only looks good for the 8 weeks that she's waiting because of that. You have to say, yours is going to look like shit growing out.
Yes.
Are you okay with that?
Are you okay with that? Because she sees me every 8 weeks. You would need to see me every 5 weeks. Yeah. And here's why I don't think this is a good idea for you. And I just say that. This is a brand new person. I have one of my clients, Ashley, this was kind of the scenario. And for the first time, she tells all my assistants this. The first time I met Carly, she told me, no, this will never happen. Your hair will break off. And I've come to her ever since. She drives 3 hours every time to come see me. Mm-hmm. And it's because I told her no. It's because that's not possible. But guess what is possible? Don't ever say no and not give them another possibility. Exactly. And so when you do that, it's saying, I'm telling you no because I try to, and I think hairdressers, because we are naturally empathetic people pleasers, I try to pretend like that's not a person and I'm only looking at a wig.
Yes, that's what I do.
Yeah, okay, love that. So you separate the person and the personality, and then you take it, and my job as a hair doctor is to make sure this hair stays alive.
Yes.
And so here's how I do it. But there's options. It's not just a no. It's a, hey, let's go ahead and I'm going to pull up some inspo of what I'm talking about and show you what I think is possible.
Yep.
And then you're going to give them another idea. And they're like, wow, I didn't even know that was possible. I love that look. I just never thought that was possible.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. And guess what? It may not be exactly this level, but I'm going to show you like screaming orange, more like a neutral blonde and somewhere between. And we're going to get somewhere in the middle of there. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to come see me once and you can never see me again. Or you can come every 8 weeks for an accent highlight, which is just a little blonde around the face, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then you're establishing that story. This is the consultation. I haven't even done the hair.
Yeah.
I'm establishing that story that I care about your hair. Here's another technique that you didn't even know is possible. We can do that today. And then you're going to come see me 2 to 3 months from now for either a gloss or an accent highlight or a haircut and a gloss. And then in those 3 months, what we can do is when I see you next is decide when you want to do this again.
Yeah.
And it's already established before I've even gone to mixed color that they're coming to see me again.
Yes. I think the biggest thing to me, consultation for me is almost nothing about what they actually explicitly say to me.
Totally.
Almost none of it.
It's more of like, what can I do with this hair?
It is that, but also what they say in the dissecting what that actually means.
Totally.
Because someone shows me a photo and they're like, I want to be as blonde as possible. Okay, cool. I'm like putting that in the back of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
What they don't want actually is to be as blonde as possible. They want the blonde that they do have to be as blonde as possible, but not the entire hair to be as blonde as possible.
Correct.
So now we're not working with, oh my gosh, I only have 2 hours and I have to balayage paint every single piece of their hair. No, they want the existing blonde so that's what I usually say. Do you want more blonde or do you want the blonde you have to be blonder?
Exactly.
So it's
dissecting.
not actually that you need to make them the blondest person in the world. It's the blonde that they do have to be really blonde.
Yeah,
so
impactful.
And they don't know that.
No.
They don't. To them, they're like, I need to be blonder. That's what I'm looking for. You don't need to be overall blonder. You just need the blonde to be blonder. You know what I mean? And there's a difference.
There is.
But clients don't know that difference.
Clients don't know that. And hairstylists have a hard time getting this out of them.
Yes.
And then the hairstylist will then do the service and blame the client and say that's what they asked for. I'm like, no, it's your job as a hairstylist to take what they're saying because it is not my job as a patient with a doctor is not to tell the doctor what to do, just as much as the client's job is not to tell us what to do or how to do our job. It's up to us to dissect what they actually need based off of what they want and lifestyle. It's dissection.
To me, what a consultation is one, dissecting.
Yep.
Psychology.
It is so much of that.
And this is the biggest one for me. It's an insurance policy.
Yes.
All your consultation is an insurance policy on the work that you do.
Yep. I lean on the consultation and I say this to my assistants. I'm like, listen to my consultation. I do the consultation. I go through all the things. We come to an agreement on what we're going to do. Guess how many times I recap what we're going to do? 3 times.
A million times.
I do it minimum 3 times. Because if I say it 3 times and they don't hear it, I get to go back on that.
And then at the end, whenever they're like, this is off, you say, do you remember whenever I said this?
Yes.
And it's not in a rude way. It's just recapping.
Yep.
Here is what we discussed.
Yep.
That's my insurance policy, so I'm going to bring it back up.
It is.
But the thing is every single thing should be stated in the consultation.
Yes.
If it's not stated in the consultation and then it's an issue later, that's on you
That's
to
on
fix.
you. Yes.
That is on you.
Correct.
To fix. Because, I mean, any type of medication contract, doctor visit, anything is going to be everything explicitly listed out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about like medication. Every single side effect is listed out.
Correct.
Is it extremely rare, most of them? Yes. Is it still stated because that's their insurance policy?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that's the same thing we need to be doing.
Yep.
We're going to be lightening your hair. And some people may think this is silly. They have virgin hair. They want to be a level 10. I'm going to say, here's the thing. My thing is whenever one priority goes up, the other goes down.
Yes.
And I always say that. It's like a scale. True. So I say, here we are. Here's hair health. Here's being blonde.
Which one do you
blonde
care about?
Blonde goes up, hair health goes down. Hair health goes up, the blonde goes down.
Yep.
And so that just sets it up. Yeah, you're virgin.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, should your hair fry off? No, but here's what could happen.
Yeah.
Your hair could become dry. Your hair could fry off. It could. It could.
Mm-hmm. Or it could break off later on.
I'm not going to let that happen, but could that potentially be something that we encounter? Maybe because you were in a hot tub.
Yes.
Maybe because you have hard water.
Yes.
It could be something we encounter. Every single thing that you could potentially encounter that would hinder you from the result that they want needs to be stated in the consultation.
Yep. And that's not up to the client. That is up to the stylist. So the stylist, it's not even like I think people get so stuck on like, I'm not confident enough. Don't even worry about the confidence. Learn the knowledge. If you learn the knowledge and you teach what you know, the consultation becomes easy.
Yes.
It's just that simple. Like, I think put aside like, oh, I'm not as confident as so-and-so or whatever. That confidence comes later. It comes with time. Get the knowledge and get the practice of teaching that knowledge, and consultations become a whole lot easier. And so when you're recapping it, you're rediscussing what you're going to do. Not only are you saying, this is the result we're trying to get. It's okay. So this is how it's going to go today. I'm going to be lightening you first. And that's going to take, anywhere from an hour and a half. And then we're going to shampoo you. And my assistant or me, we're going to be washing you. We're going to gloss you. Sometimes it takes a couple times. Sometimes it takes one time.
Yes.
Give yourself that lenience, people.
Yes.
Because if you say, this is what's going to happen and this is what's going to happen, then it doesn't happen. Then they lose their confidence in you.
That's the thing. My favorite thing to say to every single client is, it might take a few times to get there. I would say maybe 2 times.
Yep.
I know that it's very extremely possible in this one time.
Undersell, over-deliver.
But I'm going to say, potentially to build up this amount of blonde, it could take more than one session.
Yep.
Because if they in this service and they're like, it's not as blonde as I thought.
Yes.
And I didn't say that in the consultation, I owe that to them to do that.
And they lost confidence in you and they're probably not going to rebook.
So
it's about the consultation.
It is. And if you think about it as like an insurance policy for you and them, like every single possibility and thing needs to be stated. That's all a consultation is. It's a contract.
It is. It's
Here's
a verbal
what we're
contract.
Gonna do. Here's what possible. Here's how we're going to get there. Here's how much it's going to cost.
Yes.
And this is what it will look like in the end.
Yep.
Here's all the things that could go wrong.
And this is what maintenance is required.
Yes.
Because you should not begin a service. Like, what if there's no maintenance required? Guess what? That adds so much value.
Yes.
Like, my favorite thing to say is, guess what is, and honestly, most of our colors are this.
Yeah.
Short of 100% gray coverage.
Yep.
Most of our colors nowadays are, guess what's so beautiful about this service I'm about to provide you? The maintenance is absolutely nothing. It's up to you. Do you want to change your gloss? Let's go ahead. It's June. In September, let's put you on the books for a haircut and a gloss. We can take this balayage and make it more golden strawberry for fall. And you're building that story of, I don't have to do this again. Holy shit. Of course I'm willing to pay $500 because they're adding so much value to where I don't have to come back and see her. But then they want to because they love being creative and they want to come back and see me because they want to maintain their look and or change it up.
Exactly.
And I've built that before I've even gone to mixed color. I've built that agreement. And that's where the value comes in, is understanding these are the things that could happen, but this is the agreement that we're making for me to see you next time.
Yep.
And then you're building that story. Or like, hey, do you have something important in your life going on? Yeah, I'm getting married in a year and a half from now. Cool. Let's work backwards from there. And then when you do that in one appointment, you've established they're going to see you up to 6 times in a year and a half.
Exactly.
That's just think about the money right there. And then that's without that person loving you and referring you other people, all from a good consultation.
Exactly.
And it's not about confidence. It's about understanding the knowledge and teaching what you know and then teaching the maintenance of it.
Yep.
Because what if they agree to something that actually requires maintenance?
Yeah.
And then they're like mad that it doesn't grow out well.
Yeah, it grows out in 6 weeks and they're like, I paid $400. I wasn't prepared to pay that every 6 weeks.
When if we had just said, hey, this service, it's going to be this much. This is what it is. But 6 weeks from now, you can come in just for a base bump and that'll cost you X, Y, and Z.
Or maybe if you don't want, if you don't want the maintenance of every 6 weeks, we cannot do that look that you want.
Exactly. And here's another option for you that we can do if you don't want to see me all the time.
Yeah.
And it's up to us. I think so many people get so stuck on, one of my assistants said this on Friday. She's like, Saturday. Well, she shouldn't have only booked a base color. I said,
She didn't know.
I go, I do not even look at what they booked.
No.
I don't even look at what they booked. That is my job in the consult, to figure out what they need.
You know what the most common thing that my assistants say to me is whenever someone books a balayage and I don't do a balayage? And it's like I go and we prepare to do foils and they're like, so you're not going to do a balayage even though they booked a balayage?
Oh, God.
No.
Honestly, half the time when people book a balayage, I feel like I'm going to grab foils because the service that they show me. But it's not up to them. It's not like a dude's not going to come in and tell me what to use for their hair. Oh, maybe in barbershops they do. But like they're not going to tell me. Scratch that. But they're not going to tell me what to do. I'm going to use, if I need to use shears, I'm going to use shears. If I need to use a razor, I'm going to use a razor. And it's the same with the product or the placement. I don't even look at what they booked.
No.
It's up to me to determine what they actually need.
Yes, exactly.
And when I said that to the assistant, they're like, oh, and I'm like, guess what? This person's here for an hour and a half. That's what they're on my books for. I don't give a shit. We're going to figure it out. That's why I'm paying you today.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is they want a little bit more brightness and like diffusion. We're going to make that happen.
Or if you don't have an assistant and you truly only have that hour and a half,
you
say, hey, so what you booked, not your fault. I know that you don't understand like necessarily what it was that you needed. Here's what I can do for you in this day. It is not going to be what you wanted, but it's going to be a step along the way. But you can't just go into it being like, okay, this is what you wanted. Then you start the process and then they're confused whenever it's not what they wanted. Then I'm sorry. If you did not tell them it won't be what they wanted, you owe it to them to give them what they wanted.
And then you're going to have to do it for free because they're confused and disappointed. Instead of just saying, today I can just do your base color,
insurance
policy. So like what if they come in, they're booked for just an hour and a half and you tell them this, but you're like, hey, but because I know my books, I'm going to walk you up right now and we're going to go ahead and book this partial highlight portion for next week. I'm going to squeeze you in. And then it seems like you're accommodating them, which is true. You are. Yeah. But it also makes it feel like I care so much about you that I'm going to move heaven and earth to make this happen.
Exactly.
And then you do that. And that creates this like, wow, this stylist really cares about me. And I always tell my clients, it's not your fault if you didn't book correctly. Like that's not your job to know. That's mine.
Yeah.
And it turns into then, okay, this client booked for the service. And also now they're going to come in and they're going to pay me for that partial highlight. And that's an easy conversation to have. And everyone's like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
You just have to have the conversation.
It's just saying the hard things. And it becomes not hard to say whenever you know how to do it.
I think people get so scared of the fact that they're not there as a hobby.
Yes.
This isn't a hobby. This is our career.
Unless your hobby is coming in on your time off to do things for free.
Right. Pretty rare that we do that unless we're investing in ourselves.
It's bad consultations that lead you to do that. I mean, if it were a hobby, you'd be doing it for free anyways. But if it's your career, you should not be coming in to do things for free on your time off or maybe for free during your time scheduled. That's worse.
Yes.
So it's like all your consultation is just like preventing that from happening.
And it's preventing the stress of redos. It's preventing the stress of disappointing a client.
Yeah.
But it's also creating client longevity and retention.
Yes.
From consultation number one, they're gonna know if they're gonna come back to you before you even do the technique if you have a good consultation.
The consultation is, I think people get confused. They think it's the first part of the appointment, but it's the start
appointment.
To finish.
Yeah, it's the appointment.
It's whenever something comes up. Maybe they're not lifting how you thought they were going to initially. It's like, hey, so back to that consultation, we're going to shift this. So I always say, I'm going to put your foils in. I'm going to check them. I'm not going to know exactly what's possible until it starts processing, but I'm going to come back to you. Whenever I check that foil, I'm going to
let you know the possibilities.
And I'm going to let you know.
Exactly.
And then if it's not what we're going for, we're going to discuss that and the options we have then.
Yep.
So it is not just the beginning. It's the beginning, middle, end.
Yep. And then when you walk them up to finish the service, like they're all done. You've gotten pictures. You've shown them in the mirror. You're walking them up. All right. So remember what we talked about in the very beginning? This is your 17th recap of the consult. So let's go ahead and get you on the books. It's June. We're going to get you on the books for August or September for that haircut and gloss so we can maintain it. You're just recapping everything you've said a billion times. They've already bought into it.
Yeah.
They've literally already bought into it. And it's not a yes or no. It's do you prefer Friday or Saturday?
Yep, exactly.
Like, don't even give them that yes or no option.
Your product sales is a part of the consultation. I tell everyone, anytime you're doing any type of lightening on your hair, it is going to be drier than it was from the start.
100%.
It's not necessarily going to be damaged. Damage happens when that dryness is not controlled.
Correct.
So here's what you're going to have to do to keep that dryness from getting out of hand.
Yep.
And then that also prevents them from being like, hey, my hair's really dry and I think it might be breaking off. Like, you know what I mean? It's all everything. It's really a ginormous insurance policy on everything start to finish.
It is. And it's like the consultation and the product part is, that's how you're going to make their lifestyle easier.
Exactly.
It's
the value.
It's the value. Mm-hmm. And that's where consultations add. That is where your value is. It's the consultation alone. And so it's like, wow, in the consultation, Carly Rae talked to me about this one product that's going to change my life and make my life a lot easier. And I know as a hairstylist that it's going to create longevity or prevent their hair from getting heat damage, whatever that is. And that's going to make my work look better.
Yeah,
because it is.
Exactly.
It just is better. If they know how to take care of it, it is a mutual agreement. And if we don't do that as hairstylists, that's on us. Like we don't sell product because we don't make that much money from product sales as a commission stylist.
It's not about making the money.
It really isn't. It has nothing to do with that. It's about gaining that client trust because they know how to take care of their hair. It's also about leverage with brands, and that's a whole other topic too.
That's the thing. We'll talk about that. But like really, if all selling product is to you is making money, then you're doing your clients a ginormous disservice.
Yeah, because then you're selling them something that doesn't actually work for them.
Or not selling them anything at all is just as much as a disservice.
It's so true because they're buying it. They have to wash their hair.
Their hair is going to be breaking off if they don't use a moisturizing shampoo and conditioner.
Yep, they all are washing their hair. Yeah. They're all doing something to style it, whether it's drying naturally or not. And there's something that they could be doing that's hurting their hair.
Yeah.
And it also, they could be doing something before they see you that was good for their hair, but because you colored it, then that's not good for their hair. Yeah. Like what if they're using a protein shampoo? Yeah. And you're like, I'm about to bleach your hair. I actually don't really want you to be using that right now. Yeah. And here's why.
Exactly.
But if you don't tell them those things, like you have to ask, that's where knowing the questions to ask in a consultation is key.
Over-explain everything.
Mm-hmm. And say it a couple times because they're not listening.
And explain it as if they have absolutely zero idea about anything because most people don't.
Totally.
Before
we wrap up, should we give like one more consultation scenario just to play through it and recap everything we just said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to pretend like I'm a client?
Yeah, do that. That'll be good. Okay, perfect.
Okay, I just sat down in your chair.
Hey. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
How did you find me?
I have a friend that, well, actually, they're not a friend. I saw their hair and I thought that it looked really good. So I asked them who did their hair.
Nice. In person?
Yeah, I was walking out of the grocery store.
I love that. What about their hair did you like?
I like how blonde it is.
You like how blonde it is?
But it was really blended.
Oh, it was blended too.
But it was like really, really bright. It was really bright, but it looked like it would probably grow out well.
Okay, cool. Did she have hair similar to your natural, you think?
Well, mine, this is my natural color. I've dyed it before, but this is my natural.
But that's your natural color? Okay, fantastic. Can you tell me a little bit of the history about some of the processes you've had done to your hair?
Yeah, I was blonde at one point, but I didn't like how it looked.
Okay.
And so then I had my natural color put over it, but that was like 4 years ago, so it should be pretty much all gone.
Okay, so what about the blonde do you remember not liking?
I felt like it just looked like it didn't really grow out well, so it was like giving me anxiety.
Did it feel too concentrated, the amount of blonde, or was it the tonality of it?
I think my hair is just dark, so.
Correct. So let's pull up pictures. Do you have pictures from that time frame?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see these pictures. Okay,
here's my picture.
Can you point out the part of that picture that you don't love?
I liked the front, how bright it was, but whenever it grew out, it just was really... whenever I tied my hair back, it looked like it just had like a stripe that was like
growing out.
Yeah.
So what that tells me is we love the brightness. And I totally think we can accomplish that. I really do. But what we can do is take that brightness, but make it a lot softer and more blended. So that way you can get the best of both worlds. Like we can make you bright AF today, but also allow you to never see me again. How does that sound to you?
Good, because I don't want any warmth in it.
Okay, so the one thing that I am a little nervous about is that even though that was 4 years ago that you had lightener and then you put your natural color on top of it, there's still an element to your ends that are previously colored. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna go towards a brighter blonde result that's more blended and grown out. But my biggest priority is the health of your hair. Even if I can get you super bright AF today, that doesn't mean it's gonna feel good either today or 6 weeks from now or 8 weeks from now. And I care about your hair feeling good forever. So we're going to do our best, but I think what we can do is show you, and then I'm going to pull up some inspo pictures, do a more blended, bright result with your natural grow out. And we're going to attempt to get it somewhere between this medium blonde range to this bright blonde range. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, I think that's good because in the past, whenever my hair lifts, it lifts really bright anyway. So
okay, so you feel like pretty confident that people have gotten you bright before.
Yeah, I just really I just really don't like warmth.
That's totally valid. So at the end of the day, though, I cannot guarantee a not warm result today, but I won't let you leave like a raw, ugly warm. I will make it look like an intentional, like bright, buttery result today. And we can work towards that more neutral, bright blonde over time. But would you be okay with us doing this big service today? And then maybe like 3 months from now, we go ahead and schedule like a smaller service where I can tackle some more of that so your hair has time to heal a little bit.
Yeah. So do you think that it would be the color that we want it to be by the second time?
I think it could take us a few times, but I can't guarantee that. But I can guarantee we'll get there.
Okay.
How does that sound to you?
Good.
So what we'll do today is we're going to go through, we're going to foliage everything, okay? Me and my assistant are going to work together so that way we're not letting things over process. And I'll be able to tell more as we get into it if we can get to that result or not.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And if we can't, I'm going to tell you during it, but I'm not going to let you leave ugly. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a lot brighter. It's going to be more blended. It's going to be beachy today. And then, we can establish today whether we need to do it a couple more times or not.
Okay.
And so after we let that process, we're going to take you, we're going to shampoo you, we're going to do a gloss. Sometimes it takes a couple times. And what that gloss is doing, it's going to get us closer to that result or that tone or level that we need to see in order for you to leave pretty today.
Oh, okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
And then when we're done, we'll go ahead and book your next one for 3 months from now. So that way we can reassess and move on from there. My goal is that we can get there in a few sessions or less. And then maintenance over time could be, do you want to do it or not? You don't even have to.
Because I don't want to have to cut it a lot.
That's completely valid. I get it. None of us want to cut that length.
Yeah.
Right? But if we do a little dusting each time, you won't even miss the length and we'll just keep it healthy as it keeps growing.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. You feel good about this? All right. So we're going to foliage that. We're going to gloss it maybe a couple times. And then we're going to work towards your end result and possibly book you 3 months from now for another touch up.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go mix some color.
Perfect. That was great.
You were showing resistance.
I know.
Oh, I wanted to slap you in the nicest way possible. I'm just kidding, clients. I would never slap you.
Yes.
Just internally. That was good.
Yeah.
Because that's such a realistic, especially for, I would say that's probably a younger client.
Yeah.
A younger client who's only had their hair done a couple times. That's the consultation.
Yeah, exactly.
So hopefully this conversation has given people something to think about and work on with their own consultations.
Exactly.
Hopefully you guys can take this and practice with it at your salons.
Amazing.
That was another episode of Hairtalk Coffee Club. I'm Carly Rae Cody.
I'm Gray Nosco.
Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, follow us on our link on Instagram, and we'll see you next time.